Hello and welcome to MSHA Tech. In this video, we will explore the most demanding feature of SAP, that is smart forms. First of all, in this video, we will do introduction and we will find what are smart forms and why we use smart forms and how to create smart forms and what are some basic properties and some basic ways of working in smart forms very detail. So let's begin. First of all, I must say that what are smart forms? Smart forms are basically the layouts which are defined in the T code. We develop a special layout by using a T code smart forms. And why we use smart form? In order to print some predefined layout, for example purchase order, for example sales tax invoice, for example commercial tax invoice, and so on. So if we want to print our information into a particular format, we use smart forms. As I said, the smart form used for creating any particular format. For example, in this, as you are seeing that we are exploring a particular format of sales tax invoice. Like this, in sales tax invoice we have some particular format. Every company have some different specific format. So for example, I have created this format for you to understand the requirement and why we use a smart form. So in this format, here are the header detail of our invoice, and beneath there there is a the details section of the document. So if we want to create or if we want to print this type of information and in this type of format, we use a smart form. So let's explore a smart form by calling it its T code, and the transaction code is Smartforms. SMARTFORMS forms. Press enter. So we are going to create a simple smart form, and then in another videos we will do further work in smart forms. Let's create it. Click on the create button. Here it is. So basically the smart form is divided into three basic parts. One part on my left is the explorer part, which define all the parts, all the sections of a smart form in very detail. And in the middle of the window we have the detailed information of every section of a smart form. Like when we click on the form attribute, it will display its detailed information. In this detailed information, it has two tabs, general attribute and output options, as you are seeing. And if we click form attribute, form interface, so we will find the detailed information of this section, and this section is break up into four tabs: import, export, table and exceptions. And in the third part of a smart form, it's called form painter, where we will see the image and what the alignment of a specific window and what the alignment of main video is form, and what are the composition of all the different objects will display in this section, and we easily maintain and we easily do some changes and move all the objects according to our requirement. So let's begin. from our first section, that is Explorer section. In this Explorer section, there are basically two main sections. One is global setting and the second one is page and windows. In the global settings, we have three main sections. First one is form attribute, and the second one is form interface, and the third one is global definition. We will discuss one by one all the three section of it. First of all, let's discuss form attribute. In the form attribute, there are two main tabs, general attribute and output option, as we discussed earlier. In this section, this shows that what this which user created this smart form, and what date it has been created, and what the time it was, and if the smart form changes the change by username and the change by information will also save here. And in the range section, there is a language, and here translate into translate section, and the access section. The translate section have three options: into all language, into selected language, do not translate. If you want to translate our information into some other languages or in some specific language, or if we don't want to translate our information, we use this section accordingly. And on the access section, we can restrict its language control. Only process install languages, mean we restrict the information of this smart form into a particular language and the install languages. In the next section, in the next tab of this section, its name output option. Output option describe the size of the page in which it will print. By default it's DINA 4, which is equal to our A4 size paper. Character per inch, lines per inch, and a style. The style is also an important field because we can create or we can use any type of particular style of by default style, or we can create our customized style which will use or which will be implement, which can be easily implement in any smart form. We will discuss style in our later videos. So in the next part of it, there is an output. So output format, the first one is output format, standard output, accessible output. There are three values available here. We use standard output mainly. So moving on to the next section, that is form interface. Let's double click it. It has 4 tabs in its detail section. First one is import, and the second one is export, third one is table, and the fourth one is exception. So let's discuss first tab, that is import. In this tab we use the parameter which will import by this import into this smart form, and which will do for by using these import parameters we can do easily our select queries, and we will do easily our selection, and we can easily perform our conditional activities and so on. We will discuss and we will do some work, then you will easily understand what the import tab do. In the next tab, it is an export tab. So normally we don't export something from smart forms, and if we want to submit the output of this smart form to some particular destination, we will use this export tab. In the third tab there is a tables tab. So if we want to use any particular tables like BSAG, like ACDOCA, like Mara, or any type of tables, we will use this tab. So this is a very important tab of Smartform, because when we call Smartform from our program, we mainly use this tab, and we assign the same type of table in this section, which will import all the information, all the tables information from calling program to the Smartform. We will do exercise and we will do work in the Smartform, then you will be easily understand what the role of tables tab. Moving on, exception. So there are by default 4 type of exception given by SAP. Number 1 is formatting error, number 2 is internal error, number 3 is send error, and number 4 is user cancelled. So if any type of formatting error occurred, this exception will raise. If any type of internal error or some calculation error, this type of exception raised. Send error, if this will raise when we want to export this form to another channel. So if something fishy will happen, then this type of exception will raise automatically. So the last one is user cancel. If the Smartform is processing and user cancel the request, the user cancelled exception will be raised automatically. So moving to the next section, that is global definition. Global definition. In this global definition, all the things like global data, types, field symbol, initialization, form routine, and currency tab are always available to the complete Smartform, irrespective of any forms, irrespective of any window or template. So the variable we define, we use global data for defining any type of variable, for defining any type of internal table, or for defining any type of structure if we want to use a structure variable. And in the types section, we declare some structure types which we'll use in our query or in our calculation. So for any business purpose, if we need any type of structure, we declare it in the types tab. Third one is field symbol. It is a referential variable, and it has its own place. So if we need any field symbol, we define and we declare it in this tab. And the second and the next tab is initialization. It has input parameter and output parameter section, and underneath there is a editor which will be used to initialize the things, to initialize any variable, to initialize any constants, which require for the ongoing purpose of a Smartform, for any calculation in the Smartform. In the next tab is form routine. So if we want to some calculation, we need to do, or we need to declare any form, what I can say, any routines which automatically executed in the detail sections. So we can declare, or we can move uh, we can do any sort of calculation on the particular data by using the form routine. We first have to declare the logic and what the form for what the routine will have do any task. So for defining and for using the function type functionality in the smart form, we use form routines. The next thing is currency quantity fields. If we use any sort of amount field, sort of quantity field, we need to give the reference of that field. So for giving the reference of amount and quantity field, we use this tab very easily, as we did in the in defining the table of data dictionary. It is the same thing which have window. So by default the main window is present. Everything we will define and we will create under this main window. Or if we want to create our own window, let's say if we want to create some date or some type of some sort of logo upper at the left corner of a smartphone, we have to create a new window like this. Create window, and here it is. This window will also create under the page section. I just want to clear the point that every window will be created under the page section. So you can rename it as per your desire, or as per your favoritism. Let's write its name logo window, and let's delete it out. So then, as you see, we have a logo window. Under this logo window, we can define or we can insert a window. We will do further work into next video. To click on the right button, and if you want to explore more informative video from my channel, do subscribe my channel, and also share this knowledge to your peers and your colleague, so then somebody will get benefit from these videos. Thank you.